Hello everyone, I'm John with JP Strategic Investments, and today I'm going to go over CrowdStrike's Q4 earnings report that we just got today. This was a strong earnings report for CrowdStrike, and there's a lot to go over, so let's dive right in. So first, as always, I'll just cover the general numbers, and then we'll get into the details of the report. So CrowdStrike added $143 million in annual recurring revenue, bringing their total ARR to just over $1 billion. This represents a 75% increase year over year. They did this by adding a record 1,480 net new subscribers with a non-GAAP subscription margin of 80%, which is up from 77% 1 year ago. All of this allowed them to reach a non-GAAP net income for the fourth quarter of $31.6 million or 13 cents per share, compared with a loss of $3.9 million in the fourth quarter of last year. So these numbers right off the bat are really impressive. Revenue and earnings came in well above estimates and CrowdStrike's own guidance, with net income beating the high end of their guidance by over 50%. This shows that CrowdStrike is growing faster than even they had expected, and they're increasing their efficiency. This highlights one of the reasons why I'm so bullish on CrowdStrike stock, which is that their subscription model and efficiency allows them to add large amounts of recurring revenue without the need for large increases in operating expenses or adding employees. We can see that while their ARR increased by $143 million from Q3 to Q4, their operating expenses in the same period only increased by $19 million, and after accounting for stock-based compensation, the increase was actually only about $13 million. This shows that as ARR increases further and further, CrowdStrike's profit margin will get higher and higher. On top of this, CrowdStrike was able to continue to increase module adoption with subscription customers that have adopted 4 or more modules, 5 or more modules, and 6 or more modules, increasing by 63%, 47%, and 24% respectively. For any of you that don't know, CrowdStrike's customers have the option to choose how many tools or modules they actually pay for. Obviously, the more modules that a customer uses and pays for, the more profitable that customer is for CrowdStrike. So it's good to see that CrowdStrike is able to continue to get these customers to increase the amount of modules they're using. One of the major benefits of this is that it takes far less effort and expenses to get existing customers to add modules than it does to add new customers. That being said though, obviously CrowdStrike is having no trouble adding new customers with a record 1,480 new subscribers signing up with CrowdStrike in this quarter alone. We also learned on the earnings call that Salesforce, Pfizer, and Procter & Gamble were some of the bigger names signing up with CrowdStrike this quarter. And there are a couple of important things to note with these customer acquisitions. First of all, we also learned on the earnings call that the previous cybersecurity vendor for Salesforce was a quote, next-gen vendor. This is really important because it means that not only is CrowdStrike beating out the legacy vendors like McAfee, they're also beating out the newer, more advanced cybersecurity companies. Another important thing to note here is that management also attributed some of the major customer acquisitions to CrowdStrike's platform being fully integrated into AWS. Obviously, AWS is the main player in the cloud space, which means that most customers who use cloud computing and data processing use AWS. If CrowdStrike is fully integrated into AWS, then AWS customers are far more likely to use CrowdStrike for cybersecurity than another provider. As far as next quarter goes, CrowdStrike does expect a small drop in revenue and earnings due to seasonality in the industry. Also, there will be some costs related to debt servicing and the Humio acquisition that will skew next year's guidance. Overall, these will be short-term effects, and I think this was a great earnings report for CrowdStrike. Obviously, most investors agree with the stock up as much as 7% after hours, and I look forward to a great year for CrowdStrike and CrowdStrike stock. I hope you found this analysis helpful, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment below letting me know what you think of CrowdStrike stock. Other than that, see you next time and have a great day.